And we are live. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Happy Paper People Monday Jumpstart. We are so happy to see you today. Oops. Christmas music. Is that Glynis? Is that you with the Christmas music?
No, you said you were going to put it on.
It was me. I
was going to say, yeah, I could put Christmas music on the background. I thought I'd wait and see. But but it wasn't Glynis. It was Sarah. Sarah's video's off. She'll be right back to join us.
Hi, everybody.
How's everybody doing today? Hi, Lori.
Hello, everyone.
Glynis and Sarah are here with me because I am just learning watercolor, and they are. Sarah too. Glynis is a little more knowledgeable,
but not Christmas trees.
She's helping us learn, and I just did that one. So,
oops.
Hi, Melanie, here but not here. May have to cut out for a bit, but if y'all are still going when I'm done, I'll be back. Say that like the Terminator. I'll be back.
I'm out.
My throat is giving me a real problem today. So I have a lozenge. I have something to drink.
Sarah's black. Is she supposed to be black?
Nope, she came back.
Oh,
I see you, Sarah.
On YouTube, it's black.
But But YouTube's delayed.
Oh,
yeah.
I see in StreamYard, so give it a minute. But you might be. Move your right hand. Can you move your right hand? You probably are. It might be frozen. It might be frozen.
StreamYard or YouTube?
StreamYard. There we go. There it is. It unfroze. Yeah, YouTube is just going to be delayed.
Got it.
Yeah, I've got about 8 seconds.
Will show up in YouTube a little bit later.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Everybody's here. Diane's here. Hi, Diane. Welcome. Happy joy. We love Mondays. We love Monday Jumpstart. It's a great way to start the week with our friends and play. Jump right into the week. Start it out in a good way with some kind of art, some kind of craft, some kind of exploration, some kind of curiosity. We love being curious. Hope you're all getting ready for 2026 for a big year of going back to being curious and playing with all the things that we have. We've got so much stuff. There's Sarah in the chat. So Sarah Tooker is here. Glynis McCartney is here. I am Marianne Hobbs, and we are here today. We haven't done a lot of Christmas stuff. Here's my philosophy about that. When I wait until December, it's too late to do Christmas stuff. There just isn't time, especially when we have a sale like we just had. I am just now getting boxes packed after getting all the invoices. I'm just now getting boxes packed, and hopefully they'll all get out this week. But so next year, we're going to follow Sylvia's lead, and we're going to do Christmas in July. If we do Christmas, it's going to be in July. So we have time to do it ahead of time and be ready for Christmas. And if we don't, then I probably won't again. I don't usually end up doing Christmas because of that. So, but we thought it would be fun to do a little bit of Christmas with our watercolor. We've been exploring with watercolor a little bit lately, and I'd like to learn more about it. So we're going to do some Christmas trees, watercolor Christmas trees. And these are easy trees. Glynis and Sylvia both sent me different things that they've seen online that people have done, and we've been looking at them, and they're easy. We want to do things that are easy enough. If I can do them as a beginner, because I'm really a very brand new beginner to watercolor. If I can do them, then everybody can do them. So that's my gauge. If I as a beginner can do them. So, and because we wanted to play with watercolor, we thought, well, we just as well do some Christmas trees. And these are things that could be used if you still want to make your own Christmas cards. Easy enough to turn into Christmas cards. I have not mounted them or put them on the front of a card, or you could take a card, just fold it in half and do this on the front of it, and you're good to go. You don't need to, they don't have to be a separate piece of paper, because just put them straight on the card if you do cards. If I thought about that ahead of time, that's what I would have done. So I'll quickly show you some of the ones that we're going to do today. Here is a ribbon tree. And then this would be real easy to just write Merry Christmas or something, you know, whatever you want. I haven't put the star on it yet. You could put a star. You could even hang some, you know, gold baubles or something if you want. But that's super easy, yet, you know, sometimes the easiest things are a little bit of technique. So first attempt at that, we're learning. So I will say this is my first attempt at all of these. So when you look at them, you'll know very clearly that you can do this too. So this one's a lot of fun. I'll just show you really quickly some of the ones we're going to do today. We are using a metallic gold paint. So if you have a gold, if you don't have a gold, use a bright yellow. I've done some with a bright yellow, and the bright yellow turned out really cool. Swirly one. And last but not least, the Q-tip tree, which got big and fat, out of control. So that's my first attempt at all of these. And if I can do that, y'all can do it too, even if you're not watercolor experts. And if you've done some watercolor before, these will come a lot easier for you, and they'll be really beautiful. So let's go ahead and start with, I know Sylvia is out today, and Carrie is out today. Hey, Lori, good to see you. Are you going to watercolor along with us? Melanie's going to be in and out. Lori's here. Okay, let's start with this one because we can do the blue background, and then we can let it dry and come back to it. Lori's doing it along with us. Awesome. So we'll do that. So for pieces of paper, watercolor paper, you can use any size you want. I took an 8.5 by 11 and I cut it into 4 pieces. So mine are about 5.5 by 4 1/4. Glennis is like 4 by 6. Sarah, I don't know what you're using. You could use a 5 by 7. You can use any size that you want. And I just wanted to make small ones. For these type of paintings on little cards like this, Glennis, would you paint on the smooth side of the watercolor or the rough side of the watercolor?
For these ones, I would paint on the rough side. So you want your your paint not to spread around a lot.
Okay.
To keep the shape of your tree and your ornaments. Okay. I would use the rough side. It'll hold on to the paint and grab it.
Perfect. Then that's what I'm going to do. I will say, I think the only exception that I will make to that is the ribbon one.
Yeah.
Because the brush glides smoother on the smoother side.
And you're using a different brush for that one.
That's true. It's a flat brush. Okay. So we're using a round brush for most everything. I just have a selection of brushes here. I won't use them all. I do want something that's pretty teeny tiny for some fine work, like a star on the top of the tree. And then probably like a 6, an 8, or 10, or a little bit of combination of all 3 of the round brushes is really all I'll use. So you'll want to have some paper towels or your art towel nearby that you can, wipe them off on. So let me get my teeny tiny one, but I'm getting these out of my water that's already dirty. What is this one? This one is an 8. Okay. But it's still got green, which might be okay. Okay. So to start with this one, I'm going to get all these out of here, get them clean real quickly and put them back. My square one. To start with this one, we first need to put down the blue background. So we're going to, you can tape your paper down if you want. Glennis has got hers taped down. Sarah has hers taped down. And I'm not going to, just because I'm going to, well, yeah, we're going to have to just dry this and then go right over the top of it. But Lori, you've got something to dry it with? Your blow dryer or heat gun or something? We might just use the one we already prepped, I think, because just in time. So what we're going to do first with this one is just take one of the bigger brushes. This is a 10, doesn't really matter which one. I just want a bigger brush in clean water. And all I'm going to do is put some water down on the paper. And quite a bit of water. Actually, I shouldn't have done this until I got the paint mixed up, or paint ready to go. I'm going to use blue any shades of blue. You might not have the same color as I do. Glynis and Sarah might have different colors of blues. So I put water on the paper around maybe up to about a half an inch on all sides. And then I'm going to use like, where did that brush go? Not that one. Keep my brushes organized and together. That one there. I'm going to use something really dark, like a Payne's gray, and then a couple of lighter blues, like, well, indigo, which is pretty dark, but also maybe an ultramarine, which is pretty light, because I want to get a variety of color in here. So I'm going to add some Payne's gray, some indigo, some ultramarine, and I'm just mixing the three of them up on my palette here. I know you can't see that palette really, but I'm just mixing them up. And then now is when I should have mixed those up first and then get the water on my paper here so that I've got a good amount of water sitting on top, because I'm going to come over with the paint and I'm just going to start putting paint around. I don't want to just paint the whole thing because I want it to be irregular. So if I just put it here and there, some of it will be thicker, some of it will be darker, lighter, whatever. That's exactly what I want. It's kind of like the night sky. And the night sky is not perfectly even. I like that how the water takes it to the edges and the edges kind of bleed out just a little bit. And so it's not a straight edge. Do you like that? And then when I get all done, I come back and pick up more and just go a couple of places and put some darker in a couple places, just to keep the variation of some light, some dark. It's not all the same. Okay, so Lori, you are playing along with us?
Yes, she said.
So we'll do that and then grab your heat tool. And we'll just dry that. Now, this is one that it would have been helpful to tape it down because I put a lot of water on and a lot of paint. And so it's easy for the paper to warp. But I do like to pick it up and move it around. Sometimes I like to tape it down, but I find that sometimes when I'm doing something, I want to turn the paper to get a different angle. So this is interesting. This one must have more ultramarine in it because it's lighter than this one and lighter than this one. This one looks more indigo. So, and it doesn't even matter. It's just all cool, dark blue sky. Doesn't make any difference. I turn it that direction. It's going to go up and down whichever direction you want. Okay, so once you've got that is dried up and ready to go. Now we're going to take metallic gold. Glynis, what size brush would you use for this? I was thinking maybe an 8 because the 6 seems a little small. But then again, the 8 seemed a little bit large for that. I would like.
I'm thinking of this, but it might be too large.
What is it? Can you tell?
I don't know. I can't read the numbers.
It
might be a 6. I don't know.
So I've got that's an 8. I think I used an 8 on this one, and I was wishing that they were just a little bit smaller because my paper's smaller. So I think I'm going to try a 6. And this is, this is the practice. This is the learn.
The next one down would be this one for me.
Figure it out. Okay.
But I have a practice sheet I can work on somewhere. I don't know where.
I might, take a piece of something and try. So on this one, this is where we use the gold metallic. Any gold metallic. And if you don't have a gold metallic, use a bright yellow. I did some of the other things we did. I used a bright yellow, and I liked the look, the bright, shiny look I got better than the metallic because it actually looked like light. All right, I'm going to try I'm going to try this on a scrap here.
You make yours bigger?
No, I've got a number 6 brush, which is pretty small.
Your screen.
Oh, you want me to make it large?
Yep. So I haven't done any of these, so I'm
Okay. So I'm trying this number 6 here brush. See, I think I will use, for my size paper, I think I will use a number 6 brush.
Yeah, I just want to see how you're loading the brush and holding it down.
Okay. So I'm just trying to
Yeah, this one's going to be too big. That's for
get
sure.
it. What have you got? Maybe an 8. Trying to get enough paint on it, but not too much, because I also found that I can come back over the top of that, and if I need to strengthen the gold on him. So I'm kind of looking at where my center point is. That's where I want the star. And then I'm just going to start making.
Yeah, this is better.
If you press
This
it
is better
down, you get that round end, and then pull it up. You got a little bit smaller one.
Yeah.
And honestly, the first one that I did the exact amount of things that she had. She had 4, 4, and 5. And then I went back in the next day and thought it just doesn't seem full enough. And so I added all these little ones. I like it fuller, but I don't like that there's such difference in their sizes now. So I think overall I'm going to make them a little bit smaller, but put more in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so the bottom line is, it doesn't matter. You know, you put in however many you want. If you want just a few.
You're starting at the top?
I'm starting at the top. Yep. If you want just a few, because they don't overlap. That was what was interesting watching the tutorial. They don't overlap. So,
Oops.
and it's just paint. Whoops. Yeah. See, I didn't leave any space between that one. Oh, well, it's okay. I'm going to leave it, let it dry, because we can do something with it afterwards. It's easier if it's, once it's dried, unless you can pick it up. But I find for me, the gold is harder to pick up and get rid of. So I just as well let it dry and then do something with it. So I'm just pressing the end of the brush down, flatten it to get that round end, and then pick it up as I draw it back. And I'm trying not to make them all exactly identical, because the leaves, the branches of a tree are not all exactly the same. They're not identical. And not that trees are gold, but a little more realistic if it's not exactly perfect.
I don't think that's too bad for my first attempt.
Are you done already? Hang on,
I'm not doing as many as you are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's, first attempt. We just get what we get and take a look at it.
You keep adding a branch here and a branch there.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that like just the first time I'm like, oh, okay, I would like to have done more branches. So I'm going to try
quite a small brush
with lots. And
the one I'm using.
Okay. Let's see it. Can you hold it up higher? Put your hand underneath it. To your right. There you go. Oh, that is quite small.
Yeah.
That's probably.
And this is about 5 inches.
Okay.
I found, that's why I practiced first on a sheet, and I found they were all too big.
Yeah.
But that I like that size for that size of paper. I'm not going to touch it, or I'll keep fiddling with it.
Yep, exactly. The thing about this too is after it dries, you can go back and fiddle with it. You can add more branches. You can fill in more gold over the top of the gold if it seems a little sparse. Easy to do after it's dried. So better to let it dry and go back and, alter it a little later and smear it around.
There, got my star in too.
Nice. I'm on my bottom row.
You're putting a lot more in than I am.
I am. I'm making it a lot fuller than I did the first one.
Yeah, mine is pretty bad.
Well, and what I'm noticing is I wish they were a little more irregular. I'm going to try to make them irregular, but then they end up, I don't know.
Yeah, yours are all in nice, neat rows.
Yeah, and hers were too when she did them, but I really like the not quite so not quite so nice neat. I'm going to try to fill in a few here and there and see if I can, but I put one too many on that row, so it's a little top heavy right there.
Well, my other one is dry, so I'm going to start seeing what I can do with it.
All right. So, you get what you get. It's all, I feel like when I do this one, every single one's going to be different. So, hi, Deshelle. Good to see you. Been a while. I figured you'd been working on all those journals. Hope you got them done. Yeah, every time you do this, it's going to be different. How's yours coming along, Sarah?
It's bad.
Well,
I didn't realize I was putting the gold too close together.
And then it touches. I have some of those too. And I'm not going to worry about them. I'm just going to let them be. And even let them dry.
So the second one I'm doing, I don't like near as much as the first one. It's
okay. Oh, that's because you just did swipes out to the side.
Well, I tried. Yeah, these are more random.
Uh-huh.
These are too much the same.
Yeah, I get that.
So I have to.
I'm going to go up here and put a star.
I'm going to take a different gold and see if I just put a different gold on it, if it'll change.
I'm going to just make a cross, a plus sign.
That's what I did.
And then go fill in just a tiny little dot between each one of those, which gives me the 8-pointed star.
Yeah, I forgot about the dots. That makes it better.
So that's all I did there. And just, for random watercolor, it's cool.
On my second one, I think I'm going to try and put some ornaments on it just to see.
Yeah.
Because I'm not happy with how it looks.
Well, see,
that and I made my star way too thick.
You can alter it by just adding ornaments, adding something. You could, maybe paint a little cardinal sitting in the tree. That would be cool.
Oh, yeah. I could paint a cardinal.
Yeah.
Right.
I would like a cardinal. I don't know how to paint a cardinal. As you look at these, you can say, oh, that one needs to be a little bit thicker, a little bit more gold. It's, dried a little thin or dried a little light and easy enough to put some more on top. Okay, so the lady that we watched do that, she took a white gel pen and drew just a white box around it and then wrote, let it snow on the bottom.
She went back through and put white snow in.
Did she do splatters on this one? White splatters?
She did it with, on this one, I'm not sure if she did white splatters. I know one I saw her do,
Yeah, I don't think she did anything on this one because my thought was splatters. I want white splatters on it. And she didn't do anything. So I didn't do anything.
Yeah, it might be on one. Yeah, because she did more than one.
This one, she did white splatters for sure.
But it made that snow made more sense.
Yeah. Okay, so there's the first one.
So this one I'm putting up.
Lori likes her trees. Lori, how is yours coming along? All right, so let me clean that brush just a bit. Move on to the next one. We've got a lot of them. We've got 6 or 7 here, so we're going to try to get through as many as we can. So, all right, we got that one set aside. Let me do this. I'm going to put a new one there. All right, let's go to the ribbon tree. Looks good, Sarah.
No.
Always your own worst critic. All right, the ribbon tree, that is the only one where we will use a square brush. And this one, this is my first attempt, and I found it easier to do it on the smooth side of the paper because the brush glides better. Also, because I just did this right before we started, it's not finished. And I think, a star on top, even some little gold ornaments throughout it will be really nice. So I'm going to do that. But let's start here. First of all, if you would like to make yourself a guide, which helps me, I'm just going to do like 3 dots. And that's going to tell me just a, little line, which I can erase later. The line doesn't need to be straight, but that just gives me a guide as to stay within. So that's all I've done there. So now I'm going to use a square brush. I feel like I want one right between these two sizes. The 8 seems a little small. This 14 seems a little large, but I'm going to mix up some greens here. Let's see. Clean this brush so I can use it.
Yeah, I think having a real good difference in between the greens is going to help.
So on this one, she mixed a few greens to get the color, just to, get random color, but she didn't put different colors down on the paper. Does that make sense? So
Yep.
she mixed random on the palette. So I'm going to grab several different shades of green and put them right here in this palette. And even like a teal or a turquoise to give it a little brightness. I have now mixed green in with. Okay.
I'm mixing yellow in with my one to make for the back part. I'm mixing it with yellow.
That blue in there. All right. So the way that she got the depth, this is all the same color. This is all the same mix of colors, but it's like the front and the back of the ribbon. Lori, I just had very basic watercolors, so I grabbed gold marker. Okay. Gold marker will work for that, or even a bright yellow. A bright yellow, just your red, yellow, and blue. The ones I did a couple weeks ago, I liked the ones with the yellow better than the gold because the yellow actually looked like light on the stars. So we did a couple of these type of things about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And one of them was a Christmas tree. Okay, so now I've got some paint on my brush. Enough, not too much, but I do need a fair amount of paint because I'm going to do this whole thing without stopping. Hey, Sherry. And then I can come back and increase it where I need to. So I'm going to start on the bottom left with the flat brush. And so the thing was, she went over here and then just turned the brush, went back.
Could you put it large again? I want to see how you turn the brush. I was wondering if you could put it large again.
Just literally turned it. I didn't turn the brush at all. I kept the brush straight up and down the whole time. So when I say turn, I just really meant flip. Got to the end and flipped it over. Got to the end and flipped it over. She didn't turn the brush at all. She just did a flip at the end, which gave it the look that it's curved. I turned it here actually and kind of screwed that up. Okay, so then that's got to dry. So whether it dries on its own, let it dry or make it dry. And then she went back and just picked up more of the same paint. And this bottom one, go over the bottom one to make it darker. The next one is like the back of the ribbon. So go over the third one. And then go over the top one. Okay. Now, what I found on my first one was that my back there was still a little too dark. And so all I did was get some clean water, dry it up a bit, but because I don't want water all over. But I went over what was to be the back of the ribbon with just water and picked up some of that paint. Just picked up a little of that paint to lighten it up. And that helped. My ribbon's so wonky. And then she just lets this dry, or makes it dry, and then goes over the parts that are the front of the ribbon several times to give them that depth. You could even go back here and get, more of a particular color, just the straight color, to bring it in for the front of the ribbon, which gives it that depth.
The part I'm having the hardest part with is that little tip at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not easy. I somehow got an extra loop in mine. I came over too far, and so I had to do an extra loop and come back, which is okay. And so, see, I just keep going over the first, the third, and the fifth. I just keep going over and over them with the paint, making them darker, drying them in between, making them darker. Even putting just a straight dark green on top of it, which gives you the front and back representation of the ribbon.
Do I need to go darker on mine?
Let's see. No, I can tell your front and back of the ribbon. Yeah,
Okay.
the back is lighter.
I don't want to fool around with it if I don't have to.
Okay, so then we'll let that dry, or make it dry. And then we're going to use gold. You could use a gold marker. You could use a bright yellow paint, or you could use a gold metallic. I'm looking for a brush that I used for that. And one, it's a little bit large. This one I want a smaller brush. And so I'm going to go to the gold metallic. I need to get my brush wet first. All right, go to the gold metallic, and I better try this on a scrap card first because I got a lot of water, a lot of paint right at the beginning. Oh, that's pretty big. I don't want it that thick. I think that my brush might be too big. Let me try to find something a little bit smaller. Let's see if this one will. See, this is part of my learning curve, is trying to understand what brushes work best for what. Being.
I'm using the same brush I used. Anything bigger than that is too big.
Yeah. Now I'm going to look for I had one that I used on that one that I liked, and I'm not sure which one it was. It seemed like just the right size. I also have to be careful. I tend to be pretty heavy-handed. Like when I write, I'm heavy-handed. So I realize I am with a brush too. So a longer brush, if I'm heavy-handed, that's just going to bend the brush and make it thicker. So I'm aware of that, and I'd like to learn to be much lighter with the brush. But while I'm learning that, the shorter brush seems to be.
Did you do a solid gold line, or did you break it up?
No. So we started where the line is going to cross the back of the ribbon, but not cross the front of the ribbon. So I'm going to start, let's see. And I have to kind of turn mine to the side to do this. But then I risk not getting it straight up and down. So I'm going to try to do it up and down. My tree may be a little leaning, but I'm okay with that.
And you're using gold for that?
I'm just using a gold metallic.
For the trunk, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so now
With the trunk in, that really makes it look ribbony.
It does. And then I think even maybe we'll add the star, add some baubles or, Christmas balls on it or something. Might take away from my not perfect ribbon. Just give something else to look at besides just my ribbon. I'm making the little gold at the very bottom just a little bit wider. Okay, so the gold crosses over what is the back of the ribbon and does not cross over the front of the ribbon. That way it appears that the ribbon is wound around the gold. So this one, I got an extra curve up here, so I took it all the way up to there. This one, you can see where I started there.
Oh, okay.
I can erase those lines. See, this one, I got that extra swirl up on the top, so I took it all the way up just to where this darkness would start. And I think I might put just a tiny bit more green here, so it's like the green is on the top is around it. But I'm also going to give it a little gold star. Easy enough to do. Hi, Patty. I'm using watercolor paper, just a regular watercolor paper. Hi, Donna. Good to see you, Donna. You're not usually available on Mondays. So this looked like one of the simplest ones, but I think because it is so minimalist, just the ribbon, that it feels more difficult for me because it feels like that ribbon needs to be perfect. Because that's all there is the ribbon.
Well, I've got an imperfect ribbon, an unperfect trunk, and a very wonky star.
It is a very imperfect ribbon. Mine is. It is fun. I should have had you come over here and do it with me, Donna. So there's a little star on the top. Got an imperfect trunk. So there's first and second attempt at that. And
anything else she does to it?
Well, I'm going to go on because in the interest of time, but I think...
No, I'm just wondering if I should untape it.
Yeah, she hasn't done anything. I mean, I'm going to go on to the next one in the interest of time because we've got like 6 or 7 different ones we want to get through. But I think afterwards I would go back and put some gold baubles on it, like ornaments hanging down.
Yeah, this way I
think she did that with little teeny tiny just gold dots.
I can hold it up this way if I untape it.
Yeah, to your right. To your right. There you go. Down just a hair. No, I'm sorry. Down meaning towards you. There you go. Cool. Perfect. Okay, so the next one, as I throw things on the floor, let's do this one. I really like this one. This is one of my favorites. And this is seriously can't mess it up. So maybe that's why I like it so much, because you can't mess it up. No, not even you can mess this one up. Okay, so again, I took an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I just cut it in quarters. That's the size I'm using. You could use any size you want. Glennis's and Sarah's, I think, are just a slight bit larger than mine. 4 by 6, a 4 by 5 by 7, whatever size. If you wanted to use these for a card, just take your watercolor, fold it in half, make it into the card, do this on the front of it, and your card's ready to go. Or you could mount this on something. So we've got a little gold star up there. We've got lots of colors of blue. All right, so first of all, you want to wet your palette. Get your blues all wet. I got to get another lozenge. Throat is doing its thing. This one is super easy, but I really think it turns out looking one of the coolest. For this one, you're going to need some washi tape to tape off your tree. I'm going to move this green out of the way for the moment. Okay, so I'm going to put a piece of tape across the bottom, and that's going to give me the bottom border. You could put a trunk on it afterwards if you want. I don't think it's necessary because it's a very cool, not abstract, but almost abstract. It's not supposed to be a real Christmas tree, but I think the look does not call for a trunk. So I'm going to put this across the bottom, giving me a bottom border. It doesn't matter how wide your washi is. You just tape it where you want your bottom border to be. Maybe just a slight bit larger than that. I think I want to leave just enough room on the bottom that I could write Merry Christmas. So I'm going to, I also think I'm going to angle it just a tiny bit for my own comfort. It doesn't have to be taped down. And sometimes I like to move my paper. It's not always easy for me to do it straight across. I like an angle. All right. So I want to leave enough room on the top for a star. And look at where you want your tree to go. Again, it's handmade watercolor, so perfection is not expected. That's the beauty of watercolor. But that's the beauty of handmade anything, that it's not perfect. So, okay. And about right there looks good to me. All right. So I've got a triangle taped off. I've got a triangle taped off for my tree. So this one, we're going to use a multitude of colors of blue. You could choose shades of green and yellow. I like the blues. You could choose any combination of colors that you want. And so I've got everything really dark, from a Payne's gray, an indigo, an ultramarine, and something as light as, what is that? I think my cobalt teal blue I've got in there, which is really light because I want to get a little bit of brightness in there. And then at the end, we've got some strips of that gold metallic again. So I want a fairly thin brush, a small brush. I'm going to grab this one, which Ranger, they do not put their numbers on it. It's going to be 2 or 3. It's probably a 2 because that 3 is a little bit larger. But it's a fairly small brush. And I'm just going to start grabbing blues. It doesn't even matter which one you start with, because you got so many lines to put in that I'm going to start with Payne's gray, actually. Let's get the dark one in and get that out of the way, because that's the most intimidating, is that very dark. So just start putting lines in. Doesn't matter where. And here's the beauty. It doesn't even matter how thick. Also, don't worry about it being a perfect line across as far as being perfectly level. We don't want it perfectly level. Also, you don't want it perfectly solid. That's a whole other tree that we don't have one of, but we're hoping to have time to do. Having it not perfectly solid means there's little gaps of white, or there's little that's lighter here and darker there. And because it's not all filled in, see that it looks like branches because there's white in between it. So don't worry about it being perfectly solid. Don't worry about it being perfectly straight. This is one, or even perfect thickness. You will actually end up with a better result if you just kind of grab and stripe and don't think about those things, because the more I try to do that, the worse it's going to turn out. And we're going to go all the way up to the top and just put these here and there and everywhere. And I tried to correct that, make it dark, and then all I did was make it big and fat. Doesn't matter, because I'm going to go right over the top of it with something else. So just start grabbing blues. That was a really dark Payne's gray, so I'm going to go to something lighter and brighter. I'm going to keep my art towel close by, because sometimes I get too much water on it. I just don't want a big puddle of water. So this one was perfect for me because you get a better look if they're not perfect stripes. And that perfection, the perfect stripes, always trying to do that, but never getting it just right. Wanting it to be, perfectly even, perfectly level, perfectly, smooth, perfect witness, or width, not witness, width. You actually get a better look if it's not. So I really like this one a lot. It felt much more comfortable. Again, the ones I showed you and the ones Glennis and Sarah are doing is first attempt at these. And we did that. I did them so that you could see what it is we're going to do, but also want you to see that somebody who's not a watercolor artist, first attempt can do it, that you can do it too.
Well, I've got high hopes for this one, because I love your finished result on this one.
Yes, I like this one a lot too. Lori, yes, my hand keeps shaking. And this is perfect for that, because this one, it doesn't matter. We don't want this one to be perfect and straight and level, so your shaking hand is just fine.
What other colors did you put in besides blue?
I just did all shades of blue. I went to a really dark, like an indigo, and also a Payne's gray to get that depth with the darkness. But that's literally all I did was shades of blue, from a cobalt teal, ultramarine. I've got a cerulean blue. I think I touched indigo, Payne's gray. Anything that looks blue on my palette, I'm going to.
My blues are starting to all look the same now.
Because they're getting mixed up. This one into that one. And so I'm looking at it, and I've got a lot of light colors here. So I'm going to go back to something darker. I'm going to go up here and grab indigo. I don't want them all to be light. I don't want them all to be dark. I just want a big variety. Lori, the other thing I found for the shaking hand is the faster I move across it, the easier that is. I still shake, and I'm still not level, but I do get a better line just by going quicker across it. And that also, when I do that, it makes it thicker and thinner, in different parts of the line, which is cool. I don't want them all to look exactly the same. You won't get that look that you love at the end if they are. Yeah, I now notice that I've got all kinds of greens and blues mixed in my greens and blues. Probably just need to wet them and wipe off the top. Not that they're contaminated. You can always wipe off what color is sitting on top of another color, and you're good to go. Kind of like your ink pads. Yeah, and the more, just keep going and keep going. It's getting thicker and thicker, so there's less and less space. And so just keep going and go right over the top of others. I mean, not right over the top, like next to it, but it's going to overlap, or my shaky hand goes over.
Mine are going over the top.
Yeah,
Mine are going over the top.
Not purposely just going straight over the top, but let them overlap. Let them go over the top of each other and come back. Let them do that. That's what gives that great look at the end.
I think I better stop because I'm going to mess it up.
That looks cool. Now
I went into a dark bluey green too. I added some sort of
okay.
green in that.
Give me just 1 minute, and then we'll get to. There's one more step before you get to your gold. I've still got quite a bit of white that I'm going to fill in. And I'm looking to see, what do I need? What do I need? More dark, more light? Where have I got big gaps? And I'm trying to just make some super thin lines in some of these spots because there's white, and my brush is skipping across it, and that's totally okay. It totally works on this one. I swear this is the one that anybody can feel like an artist, even if you don't think you can paint. Okay, so now I've got a good number of stripes across here. Got a little bit of gap down here. I'll see if I need more down there. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. So now what I want is a little more depth in the center. See how it's just a little darker? There's a little more depth in the center. I like this one a lot too, Lori. So I'm going to get that by going back to the exact same colors and just doing some shorter lines that are just in the center. And these are definitely going to overlap the ones you already have. But this is about a third, little over a third. If you were to divide it in half, but take your half in the center, probably a half of the tree. So it's getting dry. So I'm just picking up paint, and I'm just going to do these in that center section. And then later I can decide if I need to put a little more towards the outside where if there's too much white, I can do that. But this is going to give it that depth by the trunk. I really get heavy-handed, and I have to learn to keep it lighter and let the brush just glide across, let the brush do the work. And that's sometimes hard to do. Okay, so I've got that in the center, but then I feel like I still need some more little things coming out to the side. I've got more white than I want out there. So I'm just going to put a few more that go all the way in. Okay. I've got that little bit of darker right down the center, which gives you that depth. That's pretty. Reds and yellows and oranges. That would make a really pretty tree.
Otherwise, I'll keep fussing with the first one.
Okay, so now once you've got all that color on, go ahead and dry it. Because now we want to go back over it with the gold, the metallic gold. And just put some metallic gold here and there. Looking for tiny brush. Might be too tiny. We will find out. So either a bright yellow. A bright yellow can also give you this appearance. I should have grabbed those ones that we did a few weeks ago because I used gold in one and I used bright yellow in the other. And I actually liked the bright yellow one better. It looked more like light. So now take your gold and just make gold strips here and there, wherever you want to. There is no rhyme or reason to this. I don't want them to be spaced out exactly. And there's just a little bit of...
You doing swags or straight across strips?
I'm doing straight across.
Okay. Oh, that looks great. I like the gold on there.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
It's a nice effect.
Mm-hmm. Especially because you have all those rows of color. There's a lot of color in that gold. Just kind of pops out here and there. But it doesn't stand out. It just gives it's a nice effect. That's well said. It's a nice accent. Okay. You could probably hang some little gold baubles from these gold strips, but I think it's a cool look. Instead of that, I'm going to go back and splatter some snow on it. So I'll get this gold all the way across. I'm using a teeny tiny brush because I know I tend to be heavy-handed. It would get way too thick if I don't. Okay, so now I've got the gold stripes on. Now I'm going to go back and get these snow splatters here. So I'm just going to spray some water in my white. And you could use a fan brush. You could use a fan brush for this. You could use a regular brush for this. So you could use a toothbrush, several ways to do it. You can load up the brush and tap it on another brush like this. Or you can take a brush and do this with your fingers, or a toothbrush and do that with your finger or your thumb. They all work. They all work. It's whatever you have or whatever you're comfortable with. The last one that I did, the first one that I tried, I went ahead. Oh, that's the end of my tape. I went ahead and had snow splatters everywhere, but I don't really like the effect on the white card. I mean, you can't really see it, but you can if you turn it, I guess. So it kind of looks like snow, but it's just kind of weird. So I'm going to add a little extra tape here just so I don't tape the whole card. I need to grab another tape because that one just ran out. Let's see here. I want a tape that's, on these it doesn't matter, but on others, I want a tape that's sticky enough that my paint doesn't go under it, but not so sticky that it tears the paper when I go to take it up. So,
Now I spattered with a toothbrush and you get very, very fine dots. At least I
okay,
do.
cool. All right, so I've taped that off just because I don't want that everywhere. And, well, I'm going to try it with the fan brush then. And I stuck the fan brush in the green next to it because the fan brush is so wide. Yeah. Okay, and you do need quite a bit of water. You know, it's got to be really, really thin to splatter. So I loaded up the fan brush just a little bit and tap, tap, tap. There we go. It's over here and just wipe that off. Let's pick all our tape up. Okay, so there's our splatters. Hey, Melanie. I'm back, but not here. We're glad you're here. Okay, so there's our splatters. So now let's give it a little gold star up on the top. Again, I'm going to use a very tiny brush because I'm heavy-handed. So I go the easy route for a star, which is do a plus sign or cross straight up and down. Make it as tall or short as you want. So do the plus sign.
Oh, when you take the tape off, wow.
Yeah, that's when you get that cool
Oh.
I took the tape off and it tore my paper.
Ah,
Oh dear.
yeah. And then I'm going to go in between each of those and just put a tiny bit of gold, which gives you your 8-point star. After I do that, then sometimes I'm like, okay, I want the first 4 points to be longer. So I'll go back and make those a little bit longer sticking out. There we go. There's our little star. Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's fun to do. It's easy to do. I should have dried my tree a little bit before I did the splatters.
Me too.
Because some of my splatters have melted into the paint and are not pure white.
You know, mine ended up being so fine that it worked out. Didn't.
But some of them are pure white. It just depends if the paint was dried or not underneath it. But, you know, the snow outside is not pure white all the time either, is it? So,
Don't want yellow snow.
right. I'm no yellow. It's just a little light blue. Okay, so that is our third tree. Let's set that one aside. So we've done the gold. We've done the gold one. We've done the ribbon tree. We've done this one. You know what? While we're still on that vein, let's do the other one that I did not make a sample of that is very much like, kind of like the one we just did. And this one, I am going to tape it down.
Okay, these are my two.
Cool. I like the red and pink and orange and yellow one. That is awesome. I need a better tape. A tape that's going to be a little bit stronger.
Are you taping it down?
Yes, this one we need to tape a form just like the one we just did. Okay, Sarah, the other thing is if your tape is really strong and might tear it, put the heat gun on it before you pick it up. That helps loosen up that adhesive. And might prevent tearing your paper. All right, this is a wider tape, so I'm going to tape across the bottom. I'm doing the same kind of border that I did on the last one. Pretty doing plain gift bags for Christmas. Yeah, that's a cute idea. Oh, yep, Deshelle said the same thing. Give it a little heat. It'll help the tape come up without tearing. Okay, so I'm taping across the bottom. And the inside is where I'm bordering for a tree. So I just want to leave myself enough room up there to put a star. Making myself a little Christmas tree here. How far in did I go on that one? That's close. You don't have to be exact. Okay, so now on this one, I do want to make sure that the inside is down nice and well, because I don't want my paint to go underneath it. I don't care if the outside is down, but just this inside triangle right here. I don't want my tape to go underneath it, or my paint to go under that. All right, get that out of my way. All right, so this one, you could pick any colors that you want, any combination of colors. And I'm really liking the blues, so I think I might just stick with the blues. So let me get my
Have
blue.
you got a finished one of these to look at?
I don't. This is one we just saw right before we went live, and did not have time to make one.
Okay.
So this one, so this is my first attempt right along with you guys. So we'll figure it out together. I'm going to use, you could use maybe an 8 or a 10 brush. I think I'm going to try this 8 and start with this 8. And I'm going to use a variety of shades of blue, blues, greens, whatever you want to use. You could do reds and yellow, any combination of colors that you want. I'm going to start with this pretty blue right here. Just load up your brush with the paint. And we're going to make a nice wide stripe across the bottom here. Tape is not staying down well. I'm just making a nice wide stripe across the bottom. I could even go with a wider brush, I see.
Should you use a square brush, maybe?
A square brush actually would probably be easier for this, yes.
But I'm going to go do that.
So I think I'm going to do that. Should have a little square right here. Let's see, where did I put him?
No, that doesn't have enough color in it.
There he is. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I think that'll be easier because we're just making stripes across.
I need someone who's computer savvy to tell me why my focus keeps going in and out.
Is that your iPad that's up there? Doing that?
Yeah. It just drives me nuts, but I don't know how to control it. It always ends up going back to my picture.
Yeah.
When I move my hand around, it follows my hand more.
That's interesting.
Oh, it just drives me nuts.
Okay, so now I'm just going to choose blues and just start. Geez, now that I get to choose, too many choices. I don't know what to choose. I'm going to go. I think I want to kind of dry this in between. I don't know if she did. I didn't.
I was just going to ask that if you are.
But I think I want to dry it in between because I feel like.
You're not.
And maybe the beauty of it would be not and letting them melt together. I don't know.
Well, I'll try not drying and see what happens.
It might reactivate it anyway, just because the water in this next color. And then all we're going to do is put another strip right next to it. And we're just going to build the whole tree with strips. And these are just wider. So it's kind of like the one we just did, but these are wider, thicker, more straight strips. So I'm going to kind of look at them and decide, a lighter color, a darker color. I think I'll put a Payne's gray in there, indigo. Get some.
Yeah, mine are definitely merging.
Okay. And you did not dry it in between,
no,
right?
No, I did not dry.
So actually, I think I want to try both ways because I think it'll give us two different looks that might look really cool. So I will continue with drying them in between. And you continue without.
Okay.
See what we get. And I think I'd like to try that as well. So I'm putting a Payne's gray to get a little darker stripe in here.
See, it looks darker on my palette than when I go put it down. It's the same color.
Yeah, I noticed that my first two, I thought, oh, they were quite a bit different, but they're really not so far apart once they're down on the paper. And my tape is not staying down really well, especially when I heat it up. It lifts up really easily.
I like using the painter's tape for watercolors.
Yeah, I've got them sitting right here, and yet I didn't think to grab them, and that's what they're for. You got to tell me these things ahead of time, Glennis. Just always go on the assumption. Just go on the assumption that I don't remember.
I don't think. So we just do this right to the top?
So we just do this all the way to the top. Yep.
Okay, need a
different shades of blue. Let's get something. Let's get a cobalt blue in here. That'll be pretty. Yep, all the way to the top. That cobalt blue has a lot of green in it, which is really pretty. Now I know I can go back over them later and darken them if I want. I probably won't remember which colors they were. So, Sarah, are you drying in between like I am?
Yeah, I'm drying.
So I thought about, instead of having to dry, I thought about like doing a strip, leaving a space, doing a strip, leaving a space, doing that all the way up. And then I could just go back and fill in.
That's what I did.
Okay. Well, this is good. So you're doing it a whole third way. This is good. Because I'd like to know if that, I'm going to put a cobalt blue next. If that, when you go back and fill in between, does it end up making them overlap? Is it, easier, better, worse? So I'm glad you're trying that.
I'm trying to go lighter as I go up, but the paint's not cooperating.
Well,
It's not happening.
and after we're done, I think I don't know if she did this in the tutorial we watched, but I think we take our gold with our fine brush and we go back and put some fine gold stripes here and there.
Yeah, that'll look nice.
And even some gold bubbles on the tree. Let's see here.
Your drawing makes it take a lot longer.
Yeah, it does. It does for sure. A Mayan blue. Let's try this Mayan blue. It looks green. Oh, that's pretty. Like Lori said earlier, we're just supposed to have fun. If you're not a trained watercolor artist and you try to do some things, it just makes you feel like you're no good at it. Doing something like this, you're actually creating a very cool painting and it's fun. You don't feel like you have to be perfect. Yeah, this tape doesn't hold quite so well. These would be really pretty to do on a gift bag, even solid white bags or craft bags or light color, any light color bag. You could make really pretty.
Yeah, craft bag might be too dark.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, but it would be great even using the metallic. You could do the metallic tree.
Oh, for the gold, did she do it broad or thin?
I don't know if she did do the gold.
Oh, okay.
But I said, I don't know if she did do the gold, but I feel like we will want, I will do thin stripes of gold. I just feel like that will give it a nice highlight. Amongst all the blue, so dark.
Well, I'm using it to divide my colors, and I think it's helping.
Okay. I'm going to go something lighter here. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if I want it between every single one of them, but I might like it between every single one of them.
Well, that's what I did. I put it between every one.
And then that will help distinguish those colors, which is part of the beauty of it.
Yeah, and that really helps show that they are different colors, that they're not all one color.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know, mine don't look all the same color. I think that we'll see more of the variation once you take the tape off.
See, mine's are blues and purples.
Ooh, that sounds great.
I wanted it to show up more.
Yeah. Purple sounds really pretty.
Yeah.
Gotta put some more on top of that one.
I don't think on this one I'd want to add baubles because let's see how it looks without.
Doesn't need it. Okay.
I'm gonna undo the tape and see. Ooh. Happy with that. It looks way better again without the tape. What a
Yeah. You know, might also be cool. Let's see.
That's
might
why I
also,
ended up,
might also be cool with all these straight lines of doing swag gold.
that's why I end up doing two, because I take the tape off and it's like,
Yeah.
oh wow.
Oh yeah. Lori did green and yellow.
Okay. I'll try that.
I'm gonna have to go see who it was that I watched do these, Lori. Do you know off the top of your head, Glynis?
Nope. It wasn't someone I normally watch.
Me neither. We're not much help there, but we'll get it.
But I'll do greens and yellows on this one.
Okay.
But yeah, the finished one looks like a good, it looks so cool.
Yeah. But with all these straight lines, it might be cool to have swag gold.
What is swag gold?
Swaggy, like instead of straight line gold, swag like you hang lights. They swag from one side to the other. Does that make sense? Where they go like this.
And they're just there. You're doing them in swag. Does it help?
Yeah, just swagging from one side of the tree to the other instead of straight line from one side of the tree to the other at a curve. I don't know what they're called, really. That's my illiterate attempt at trying to say that. Let's see. How about...
I wish Lori was on because I'd like to see what she did.
Yeah, Lori, will you, when you're done, please be sure to post these in the group. We'll all post them, but we'd love to see, definitely. Always love to see everybody else's interpretations and results. Okay. And maybe a little dark one up there. Let's get that indigo. I feel like Carrie would enjoy these. I'm sorry she's not feeling well today. Thanks, Lori. I know Sylvia would love these. So I'm sorry she's not available today, but she's out serving the vets in the community. That's good. That's definitely good use of her time. You know, after doing this, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll try it with wider, thicker stripes and then getting thinner at the top. There's all kinds of things that you could do once you've got the style down.
And knowing what it looks finished really changed my thought of what I was doing. That I
Yeah.
was happier with what I was doing when I
What
took
was that one?
like,
Cerulean blue, I think.
oops, that's not-
Yeah, being able to look at it after and go, okay, you know where you're headed.
Yeah, it does look okay like doing that. So dark one. It's hard to get yellow because my yellow is all covered in green.
Yeah, and all the other color. Yeah, my yellow is all covered in green. I need to spray everything and wipe the tops off to get all the other colors off.
Yeah.
Especially when you're, mixing them, you just grabbing them and not using a different brush for every
Well,
single.
I'm a messy watercolor painter.
I don't like to have to try to grab a brush for every single one. Then I have 3 or 4 brushes in my hand and I don't know which one went to which one anyway. And then they're all loaded with paint. I feel like I'm wasting paint. So
Well, that's why you go and you dip it in water constantly and put it on your paper towel.
Yeah.
Because I just use one for everything.
yeah, I'm
But
with you. All right, I'm at my tip top one. Got the last one to do.
I'm almost at my tip top with my second
How
one.
are you liking the greens and yellows? Like that as much as the blues and purples?
Well, I didn't like the blue and purple at this stage either. So I'm going to wait till it's
I
dry.
actually think purple would have been very pretty to mix in with this.
Yeah, the blue and purple, I don't know if it shows up on here.
Yeah.
I really like how that looked. And I'm trying to go light as I go up again, like I did before.
So I did not necessarily go lighter in color as I went up. But now I'm going to grab my gold. The little tiny brush. Where'd the little tiny one go? Over here somewhere. There we go.
There.
And let's get that gold metallic.
So you're going
If
to do
you guys,
you're going to do swipes.
I think I'm going to do stripes on this one, being the first one.
I'm going to do swipes until I see someone do it.
Oh. Also, if you guys want to grab some Q-tips, one of our techniques uses Q-tips instead of brushes. Don't remember if I put that in the post. I think I did, but you know, now I'm looking at this and going, these are straight lines and separated with the gold. Or maybe not separated with the gold. I could take a gold metallic pen and write in the strips, in the white strips.
Oh, yeah. You put in the lighter ones. Like not my blue ones so much, but the yellow green
Yeah,
ones.
no, with a gold metallic would go great on the dark. A gold or silver metallic marker.
Yeah.
Not a gel pen. Have to be a metallic. Although you could probably take your brush and with the gold metallic write Merry Christmas in it with the brush.
That would take some practicing.
Yeah, for me, especially. This is where I have a hard time being heavy-handed.
Something I thought I didn't think of mentioning to you. This is my gold. When you load your brush with watercolor, load it on the side like that.
Okay.
And that way you'll get it full of color.
Okay.
By rolling it like that.
But if you're trying to make a thin line, does that
you only use the tip.
Okay.
But the color will be held in there.
It pulls it down. So if the whole brush is loaded, are you saying that as you go along, it pulls it down?
Yeah, you can still get a thin line, but you'll have more paint to work with.
Okay. See, those are the things I need to learn.
I just thought of it as I was doing it, as I was rolling it.
This one
feels I've done this whole tree with that one load I did.
Ah, okay.
And they're some are thicker and some are thinner, but the whole tree with one load.
You're using a pretty big you're using a pretty big brush there, aren't you?
Well, see, it's not so much the big of brush, but how long it is.
You
want a long brush so that you can get the point, but you want the bulb to hold the color.
So a longer brush. All right.
And then the bulb holds color, and the tip is what you use, and it feeds down like a glass pen.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. I'm just afraid using a big brush like that I'm going to be heavy-handed and.
Well, you try it on your.
And then
it'll. What this is for? See, everything I tried on here first.
Yeah. All right.
I've ruined too many things by not trying them all. Though I like the color of my. This is going to look really good. My paper towel.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be fun.
Use the paper towels.
And cut that out.
Okay, that's actually a whole lot easier to do. Thank you for that tip. Oh, too wide.
Well, you got to practice how to use it.
Wider than I want. Yeah, wider than I wanted. But
now it looks okay that I've got the tape off. I kind of like it then.
Dang it!
Just don't push down.
Well, I start out fine, and partway along,
you start
I
pushing
push
down
too hard, and it starts getting thicker.
But you
Yep.
get used to that after a while, just using the tip.
Yeah.
And I find I have to go one way and then go back the other way, or else they all look the same. So I go back and forth. Like, don't go one way all the way.
I see that.
They'll all
Okay.
turn out looking the same.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I like it now.
Okay. I'm getting better at using the tip. See, this is a good just practice.
Yeah, as I was loading it, I was thinking, I'm doing this so automatic. I bet that's something I should mention. Because
Yes.
I do it without thinking. I load the, because a watercolor brush will hold that paint and water.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did half the tree with just that one load, where before I was going in multiple.
But that'll only work if
I
you
got a little bit of a bleed underneath my tape.
Oh. But if you push down too hard, that won't work. You have to that's for beats the tip. But I'm kind of happy. I'm glad that Lori suggested the green and yellow. I'm happy with that one too.
Yeah, that's cool. So there's with the gold stripes. I'm gonna give it a little star up here.
Yeah, I like the stripes. I definitely like on there. It makes everything pop.
Yeah, the gold stripes.
And your stripes are very even. Where I varied my pressure, but then I wanted them that way.
So some are thicker and some are thinner.
Yeah, I wanted them to look more natural or random.
Random. Yeah.
Especially on the blue one, they're all different sizes, but.
So
Yeah.
your camera zoomed in to your paint.
I know it keeps doing that, and I have to find out how to stop it.
Yeah, I know, but it usually comes back, so I can see what you're doing. It just hasn't come back.
Come on, back here. I don't know.
It'll come back. Okay, random star at the top.
I'm quit putting stars because my stars are so ugly.
That star turned out a little bit wonky, but okay, so is there a watercolor trick for, hang on here, grabbing a baby wipe, although it might be too late for that. I got a little bit of bleed underneath my tape. See on the side?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can use a baby wipe and do that, but it's going to take it.
Get this very small brush with just a clear water.
Mm-hmm.
Lift it off.
I mean, in watercolor pencil, we would get a little blade.
Oh, well,
Scrape it up with the blade, but
you lift it off the same way as like you just take your water and just take the tip and you kind of lift it off like that. But if you have too much water, it won't work. It has to be just a tiny bit of water, and you just lift it off. The paint should come right up.
oh, I don't know what was on that, but that tape left adhesive on my.
I just stick with my painter's tape. I just find it's more expensive, but
that's
it's worth
why
it.
I got it, and I just didn't even think to use it. Yeah, I don't know if it's just too dark, too much there. It's not lifting. One did.
After you put it down, do you run a thumb across it and press it down?
Yeah, I did, but
I
noticed that the tape wasn't so sticky, but also as I heated it, the tape was lifting. Because,
oh yeah, you kept heating yours all the time.
Yes, exactly.
And I just heated once at the end. That's probably what did it.
That does make a difference.
Because every time you
it didn't on the first washi I used, it was okay, but this second one that I grabbed,
you'll have to press it down every time you heat it.
Yeah,
then. That would do it. That's right. That's right there. Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
And if worse comes to worse, you get a little tiny bit of white gouache. That's what we use gouache for.
I fixed one of the others. I had to wait till the next day for it to dry because it just,
like on this one. You see when you move it.
White water.
I got all my white dots on the other side of the tape.
Yeah.
I decide whether to cover that up or try. If I lift it out, I can still do it dry. I can still go in and lift all that out.
I think I'll let this dry and then I can use some white watercolor or white gouache and.
Yeah, use gouache.watercolor for that.
Okay.
If you haven't.
I do. I do.
Oh, I'm happy with these.
They're cool, huh? Okay, so Sarah, how'd yours turn out?
It turned out okay.
You have to lift it up.
Oh yeah, that turned out great. And you just look at it and you say first attempt, okay? And now I look at what I might want to do differently.
So you
Lori did a pink and white one. That sounds pretty. Pinks and
both of yours
purples
are
are
much
pretty
darker
too.
than mine. Mine are much lighter than yours.
Pink and white. That would be
I like the darky.
Yeah, I like the blue and purple.
That last one, Lori, was orange, yellow, red, and a bit of purple in the middle.
The last one. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go to another one. Let's see what we've got left here. We've got the Q-tip one. Oh, you want to try the swirl one?
Oh, I want to do the swirl one.
Let's do the swirl one.
Yes,
This is one of my favorites. First attempt, I feel very awkward. So I'm
definitely.
I'm gonna keep trying and get better at it.
No, that's definitely one I want to try.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so this one, I think it's very helpful to make yourself a triangle to stay within. Otherwise, those swirls can go, I was almost said squirrels. Those swirls can get completely out of control. So if you give yourself a triangle, 3 dots, and your line doesn't have to be perfect, straight, because you're going to erase it anyway. All it is doing is giving you a guide. Okay. Just made a really light little triangle there.
Okay, leave it.
And then this is just a color of blue and then the gold metallic. So the blue is first, and then she did 2 rows of gold metallic over the top. So pick a blue, any blue. It could be your mixture of blue that you used for, in fact, that's probably what I'll do because I've got plenty on my palette here, that you used. Where's the brush that I was just using that I loaded with gold? I think that was, is that the one? I think.
Can't find my pencil.
Well,
okay.
Is this the one I was just using? No, that was the one I was just using. Okay. Let me get that cleaned up a bit. I think that would be a good size. And you can use whatever size you're comfortable with. This even feels a little bit large because I'm heavy-handed, but I also recognize after doing it the first time, the brush needs to be big enough that you can load some paint like Glynis was just talking about, because I couldn't load much paint on this because I was using a tiny brush. So I was barely getting any swirl and I was out of paint. I had to keep going back, which makes it very choppy. I didn't get a smooth swirl at all.
That's why you'll find a lot of watercolor brushes have long hairs.
Yes. To hold that. I like that. I mean, that's, now I understand it. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But until I did it, I just wasn't.
Yeah. Now I know. I'm going to add a little bit more blue, and I'm just going to use some of this stuff that I have mixed up on the palette right here.
Could you go big again?
Say it again.
Could you go big again?
Oh, sure.
Really
Sorry.
how you do this one?
You want to see me mess it up?
Yep.
Instead of you.
Yep.
All right. So I'm loading this up, and I am going to come over here and try this first.
Oh, I love this one.
Let's see here. See, I have a hard time with getting great big swirls, but maybe that's okay. Maybe that's not too wide. I need to practice with a loaded brush like this because it's bigger. What I need to practice is being able to just let the tip.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try it. It's only a piece of paper, right?
No, but those you're getting paint all the way to the bottom that time.
But if I mess it up, I can grab another piece of paper. So that was almost easier with me holding it up a little bit so that I could move it as I go.
If I'm doing a big sheet of paper, like an 8.5 by 9 or 10 or something,
Uh-huh.
I hold it up the whole time almost.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'll do it from the side and from the top. And okay, let's see what happens. They're at a slant too. Okay, let's do this at a slant.
Okay, so there's my blue. Now I can go back and pick up a little more blue and come back, and where it got a little bit sparse here, I can just fill that in a little bit, because now at least I've got my shape. It's down.
It's funny now that I notice I'm doing it every time, loading my brush on its side, and I hadn't even thought about it.
Well, that's cool, and that was a great tip. You know, I like it how it gets thinner, some spots at the end, and then gets a little thicker. It seems more like ribbon. And I'm not going to worry too much about the imperfections, because I know that I'm going to put gold over the top of it. And that's going to cover some of this. And when it's all done, if I decide something needs to be filled in or a little more blue or whatever it is, I can go back and add.
Yeah, your colors are all more saturated than mine, which
I
like.
A little more.
I can't seem to get that.
Hang on, let's see.
No, I like
so, that. Yeah, that's a good purple. I like that. All right, so now I'm going to wash this out, because I'm going to get back in that gold, and I'm going to try to load it.
You just do the one. That's all the layer of blue you do.
One blue. Yep, it was one blue.
Okay.
And then 2 in gold. And the 2 in gold, I mean, I think that don't think too hard about where they go. You know, you try to go
top, you want random?
Start at the top and go the same way, but it's not going to be exactly overlap. It'll be almost like next to it. And then the second one, you can start kind of opposite, where it goes around the open end. Does that make sense?
Nope.
Okay. Let me.
I'll wait till you do it. I'll wait till you do it.
Okay, I gotta load this up and try to get it just the right spot. It's too wet. It's got too much paint. Too much water, not enough paint. And I can also go back and go over the gold too if I need to, I'm trying to load that up. I'm so skittish about that, because I know that I'm heavy-handed, so I'm trying to learn how to just use the tip of the brush. All right. So I'm basically going to start the same place, just kind of right above it. So almost like I'm going to do it parallel.
Yeah, like ribbon candy, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. See, this is not flowing well. Maybe it's not wet enough. It's not flowing well. It's getting way too thick. See, this would be so easy to grab a brush marker and do, or a metallic marker, but I really want to learn the art of the watercolor. So it's not releasing paint as I go. So does that mean it's just not?
The gold is a thicker paint, and it clings to your hairs more.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, the gold is much more difficult.
Yeah, we never used metallics when I did watercolors years ago. We just never ever used. There wasn't such a thing as metallic watercolors.
That's true.
I love them now.
Okay, so there's basically my first gold ribbon.
Okay.
So, and I'll go back and fill in a couple of places there. But this one pretty much parallels the first ribbon.
Yep.
The second one, well, it doesn't, because the second one I was going to say I'm going to make it so that on the open end it goes around it, but this one does right here. So it doesn't up there. So I don't know that it really matters. Just grab the gold and do a second ribbon. It's gonna overlap in some places and not in others.
Hold your finished one up.
And that's how hers was. It was overlapped in some and not in others.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
I know. It's that's all it is a random try. Just remember, it's just a piece of paper. If we don't like it, we can gesso over it. Do it again.
I'm very disappointed with this tree.
But I'm glad you told me about the gold. I mean, the gold pigment is very different than regular pigment. The blue, the blue I found much more comfortable than I did the first time.
It doesn't cling to your hairs like the
right. And this gold one is kind of nightmarish to work with in that regard.
I think I'll give this one to somebody I don't like.
You send that to me.
Oh, mine's just horrible.
Oh, probably not as bad as you think. Okay, so there we are. So now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to say, well, I kind of skipped here, so I'm going to add a little more. You know, I don't want them all the same thickness, but some of them I do want a little bit thicker, a little more visible. Also, I think that when you take this and then you put the splatters on it, changes the entire thing. Because there's something else for the eye to look at. Okay, so also then at the top here, we give it a little star. Okay, so give it a little star. And then the splatters. So she did splatters with the dark blue that we used in the first one. And then I want to say that was probably like a quinacridone gold or a yellow ochre or something. It wasn't the gold metallic. There's already enough metallic on there. So the splatters were not gold metallic. But something like a quinacridone gold or a yellow ochre would be really pretty, even an India yellow.
Yeah, quin gold I love. It's a beautiful.
That's what I think I'm gonna
try here.
Let's see. Where did I just put that brush? Is that the one I was using? That's pretty small, but might. Okay, so to get your splatters, remember you need it to be very wet. A lot of water, a lot more water than what you would paint with. Otherwise, whatever you get will be big blotches, not splatters. And then I'm just going to tap for some splatters. If they're not coming off, add a little more water.
When I'm doing spatters in my spray box, that was hard for me to learn how to spatter acrylic paint.
Oh, yeah.
It was so different than what I would.
Very watered down. I'm not getting good splatters with this brush. I should have gone with a bigger brush.
I get enough spatters on it, I won't be able to see my tree.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, hey, whatever the goal is. Got one great big one up there. I'd like to soak it up, but I know if I touch it, it's just going to spread.
That's why you use a very, very dry brush.
So, not gonna.
Okay.
So I'm going to grab another brush, a different brush to do my blue. To do the blue, let me just grab some of this blue. It needs to be very watered down. The thicker it is, the bigger your splatters. So the more watered down, the better little splatters, fine splatters you'll get. You can turn to different angles so it doesn't just go the same place every time you splatter. And I'm just going to do the whole card on this one. I'm gonna. You can get an old toothbrush. Take an old toothbrush the next time you're going to discard one and keep that in with your paint supplies. That makes a great splatter brush. You just put some paint on it and use your thumb.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, and I like the effect on these because it's small little.
All right. So there we go. So my first one was a much darker blue. My second one was a lighter blue. It's the mixture that I'd put together for the background. So let me go back here. Sarah, how's your swirly one coming?
Not good.
Like ribbon candy. Melanie just got back from listening. She loves the ribbon trees. They're cool, huh? Wait, what? I see candy? Oh, yes, ribbon candy is amazing. You could also use it as a background and diffuse its look by decoupaging over it with tissue or napkin. Yes. It would blur the tree a bit because the wet of the glue will reactivate the paint. Oh, whole nother craft there.
Sarah, yours cannot be as bad as mine, so don't worry about it.
Making and just paint.
Take a look at it.
Let's see. Oh, nothing wrong with that. Hold it closer, can you? Closer, tiny dancer.
So yours looks like a tree, Sarah.
Yeah, I like it.
Mine is kind of looks like a pillar.
Whoops! It just zoomed in on your bottle up there above your. If you can pick him up, Glynis. Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back. There we go. Oh, yours looks like a tree.
Well, the blue one does, but the green one, it looks like a column.
Did you draw you a triangle on that one?
I did on the first one, but I didn't on the second one.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's exactly why. Because you didn't, your eye just, these swirls, you get bigger and bigger and you start big and you did big swirls all the way down.
Yeah, I know.
Where the first one, you started small because you had a triangle to stay
within.
within.
I had to try. Actually, I drew lines.
What a difference that makes. Now, I do have a fan brush, Melanie. I splattered the first one with the fan brush. Splattered that one with a fan brush. Just trying out the different things. Okay, so Melanie, you've been watching and catching up, right? And you didn't see, you did see the first ones. So let's add this one to the mix to dry here completely. It's these splatters. If I set something on it, they're going to smear all over the place. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now, right?
In 2 hours.
And is it 2 o'clock already? Well, an hour and 45 minutes almost. All right, so we've got these 3 still. Let's do, okay, so this one I'll just tell you, it's easy. Again, block out a triangle with your washi tape. Mix up different shades of green, just like you did the blue for the background. And just go in and put the green down, just like you did the blue for the background, putting more or less. I've got yellow and darker green, so it's not all the same shade. But within your washi triangle, let that completely dry or dry it with a dryer, and then just go back and paint some gold stripes on. I didn't like how wide the stripes were, so I went back and added the little gold stripes. I might even do another one, but I don't know. I could even paint over that, but I don't know. It's a little wide. I'd like to try it again. Okay, so this is a good one here. The gold is like snow. And then let's do this one because I really want to redo this one. First attempt is just a big fat blob of tree, and I'd really like to try to redo that one. So, and also it's easy. So this one you need some Q-tips. So we'll grab you another piece of paper and some Q-tips. And let me say this. I did that one with Q-tip brand Q-tips, and they have a lot of cotton at the end. They are big, fat, very cottony. And I could tell when I was dipping into paint and doing it, that's just a lot and it gets everywhere. So for today, I grabbed some cheap Dollar Tree Q-tips because they are cotton swabs. They are not Q-tips. They're cotton swabs because they don't have as much cotton on the end. And so they're not going to get as big of blobs and also have the extra cotton sticking out that gets fur everywhere. So I'm going to try it today with these smaller ones. Now there's 2 ways to do this technique. I've seen this a lot of different places. You can grab a bundle, 5 or 6 or 7, grab a bundle of these and hold them like this. They just all have to be together at the bottom, and you can dip them in the paint, and then you go like this and you do them all as a bundle, or you can do them individually, add to the different colors. So let me make sure everything is wet here. Pick a color, any color. Wow, I'm doing a lot of blue today. So this one I've got greens and blues and yellows. So I am going to, and this one, you do want it to be fairly saturated with paint, not as much water. And so I can, check that, and wow, that's okay. So I'm just going to come down here and start making myself some paint dots. And so this will be the Q-tip that does that color. I just have to remember what color is what, right? I'm kind of sort of making an outline there so that I know. I already went a little wider than I wanted to right there, but I'll make sure that my bottom of the tree goes out wide. All right, so that's my first one, which was, what is that one? Mayan blue. I'm going to try to remember which ones were which. Okay, maybe I should have just gone in order of these blues, and then I'll go backwards. I'm just going to do a bunch of different blues and just start interspersing them. Might need something besides blue in here. Now I'm looking at it and thinking already. But some of these light blues will really add some variation. But I think maybe a purple. I really love your idea, Glynis, of...
Yeah, I like the purple. I really liked.
To that. It was really pretty. Let's see. What kind of purple did you use?
That one right there.
I've got an imperial purple and a quin purple. I think I'm going to... I might try both, but I'm going to go with the imperial purple first. Purples aren't wet enough. So, Melanie, what are you making for Christmas gifts? Crafty gifts? Apparently not watercolor. Because she wants to watercolor now. Oh, I really like the purple in with it.
Yeah.
That one just got too far out there, kind of random.
I liked it because I didn't have enough variation in the blues, so I thought I'd try it.
Yeah, yep.
That's
exactly it. It adds. And I'm going to try this quin purple too. Get a different color purple.
That'll be a brighter, but it might be thicker too.
Yeah. This would be a great one to do even with your grandkids. You want to do a craft with them. They can
I think all of these you could.
Their own card.
They won't do any worse than what I did.
Well, I mean, they could do all of them, but how easy, not even to have to deal with brushes and things. Just grab some Q-tips and a pan of watercolors. And literally, they could make Christmas cards and just have a really nice time. I really love adding the purple in there. All right, I need more blue. I need like ultramarine or something. Here we go, French ultramarine.
Prussian blue would be nice. Nice deep one.
Yeah. Ooh, I've got that too. Okay.
Well, at least the second one makes my first one look acceptable now.
Oh, your swirlies?
Yeah.
I think they're both acceptable.
Oh, well, then I'll send you the green one.
I'll send you the one I don't like that I'll send to somebody that I don't like. Now I know the truth, Glynis. All right, let me get something deeper, like Prussian blue or indigo. Prussian blue might not even be dark enough on its own. Let's find out. And you can leave space in these like this, or you can get them, do enough, just keep going until they're overlapping each other. That's entirely up to you. I mean, if you do it in a bundle, if you grab the Q-tips in a bundle, they're going to be touching. So they're both techniques that I've seen people use, and there's not a right or a wrong. What drives me crazy is that little hair of fuzz that sticks out and then gets a little fuzzy on the paper. It gets a little tendril on the paper next to the dot. Okay, that's pretty. And probably could use the same Q-tip on all these. I'm going to try just a little indigo. Get something dark in there. Sarah, how are you liking the Q-tip?
Yeah. I'm just not very artistic with the watercolors. They just don't work for me.
Well, I've always felt that way, but I really feel like it's just a matter of me learning their properties because they're so different. And it's awkward for me. It's just awkward, right?
Yeah, very awkward.
And so, as Sylvia would say, it's just practice, 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 practice until they become not awkward. So, Melanie, currently working on wooden circles and napkins or tissue paper, making seasonal coasters for your daughter. Oh, awesome. You know, the other thing I thought about doing today was little rounds of wood, like taking a branch and you slice them up into little 1/2-inch rounds and make them 3 of them into a snowman.
Oh, that's cute.
You just drill a hole in them and put twine to hold them together, and then they hang. I've got one hanging out on my lamp. I thought, oh, we could do this. That would be fun.
I'm glad we're doing this.
Does everybody have a branch to cut it?
I have a branch. I would not, no way I'd be able to cut it and drill it.
I've got a whole box of branches.
On this one, how many colors did you use?
I used a ton, probably more than is necessary, and I don't know where to stop. I don't know if I've got enough or do I want to keep doing more. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors. I don't know that it's necessary.
Okay.
To use 7 colors, but I did. But there's that. And so now I'm going to set those aside, the colors aside for a minute, and I'm going to go back to the gold. Where's that brush that I was using for gold? Because that worked very well. Going to clean it up a bit here. Yeah, I wish Sylvia was here today because she's, like you, Glennis, much more experienced in watercolor than Sarah and I. Okay, so gold.
But learning a different technique, you're still
learning. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take the gold and I'm going to do a little star. You know, there's different ways to do stars, but this is a quick and easy one. So for our purposes today, quick and easy is great.
So I've got yellow, blue, and red.
Pretty.
So I'll go to maybe green next.
Red, yellow, and blue.
Yep.
The primary colors are 1, 2, 3. Red, yellow, and blue. Each one has a message for you. And, you know, each one of them has a meaning. If I can remember the song, I'll remember the meaning of the colors. Okay, then we're going to take that gold, load up that brush, and make some. Now, you could make straight or you could make swaggy. This is what I mean by swag, Sarah, is these, get it where you can see it.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah, see how they go across? You could make them go straight across. Or you could make them kind of swag like they're hanging across. So, I mean, these are kind of straight. This one swags. They swag a little. They just don't swag a whole bunch. But you could make it. You can make them straight or you can make them swag. But a little bit of gold sparkle on this. There's no right or wrong. So just start. I think I'll do this one a little bit differently. I'm going to do it as if it's wrapping around the tree, all that same direction. So.
Well, I like on yours how many dots you have. So I'm just trying to keep filling in any space I see because
just keep going until you, and if I get it all done and there's big white space, I'll just make more dots. That one got a little wide. Bet they could be as wide as you want. What I need practice with is just getting a feel for the pressure of the brush, letting the brush do the work, but not pressing so hard that it gets so fat.
Think of it like your glass pen.
But the glass pen doesn't bend. So when I press with the glass pen,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. It's for me, it feels very different.
Of course, I have not been able to get my glass pen to work properly yet.
Really?
Yeah, I'm having so much trouble getting the ink to flow down it.
Well, let's we'll do something on that then, because I love that.
Oh, I love the stuff you do on it. I just can't. It's the ink I'm not getting to flow properly.
Okay. That's one of the glass pens you got from me?
Yep.
Okay. Then I know that I have it, and that's what I use. So
I've tried it with ink, and I've tried it with my watercolor ink.
Ooh, I have not tried it with watercolor ink.
I think I might be loading it wrong.
But that's probably it. It's probably not your writing. It's probably the loading.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. So there, I just put the stripes around the tree as if the...
So if we do a retreat, I'll bring my glass pen down.
There we go. Oh, we could have a glass pen workshop.
Yes.
That would be fun.
That would be great.
Then you could go back and put, in fact, I think I might do this. Just put some little gold things here and there that emulate little lights. I'm going to put them like every other one coming off the other side of the gold.
I like the straight, like this one and yours and mine there and Sarah's, how these are triangle better than on the first one you did that had the...
Yeah, and this I was trying to do random so it didn't look like a straight triangle, but it had arms coming out, branches coming out, but it just got way too fat. And it would have probably been fine if I'd kept it smaller at the top and it got bigger on the bottom. But I do like the shape of these better. Yeah. But I'm going to give it some random bobbles. I'm going like on the top and on the bottom of the gold line, like they're little lights. Every other one up, one down. I hear you, bodyguard.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't like the blow dryer at all.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, he's very offended. Keep going.
That's funny.
He'll be quiet when I turned off.
Yeah, no worries. We're all animal lovers. Doesn't bother us. He's not that obnoxious. Unless it gets Lucy going.
There, see? It's all done. See, it's all done.
All done.
All done. Everything's good. See? Yeah.
Okay. So then you could choose to put, I think I will maybe give this one a little trunk. Looks like it kind of needs a little trunk to ground it.
Yeah, I think this one calls for a trunk, definitely.
Okay, so we got the gold strips, and then I don't know if there's the...
Mine's going to have a green trunk.
That in the light with the reflection. Just some little tiny gold dots up, every other one up and down off of the gold lines like lights. We need a little bit of a trunk, so let's go take a brush here, clean it up. Do a practice page where you draw lines, start heavy and gradually lift brush as you continue. That's a great idea to learn to be more light-handed. That's a good idea. All right, let's see what.
I always have a practice page right beside me, like I do right now.
Yeah. Maybe a burnt umber for the trunk.
Mine's got a green trunk because it's covered in moss.
Well, now that's a good idea too. I'm going to see if I can give it a little burnt umber.
Now I've got to add my gold yet. I want to see it's dry, but
I do use like scraps of watercolor paper beside me to do stuff on, because then you can see how it actually is going to react on watercolor paper.
yeah, well, like my practicing is always right there.
Sometimes I do it on not watercolor paper and the result is different. So if I really want to see.
And then I can vary my pressure and the size of my brush, and
Yes.
So it's
Yes. Agreed.
well,
Okay, so I've got some burnt umber here. I'm going to come down here, and trunk doesn't have to be perfect because you know how trunks are. Imperfect. Oops, and my paper slipped, so now it's even more imperfect. Maybe a little fatter than it needs to be, but it's okay. Not going to worry about it. How did yours turn out, Sarah? Oh, I like it. That turned out great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Glennis, how'd yours turn out?
I'm just putting on the gold swags, and they're not looking
Okay.
too good, but that's just what I'm doing now.
They work. It's all right. So the difference in random and just letting it get bigger and bigger, and the difference in kind of sort of following a triangle. This one is
Okay. There's how mine looks
this
like.
one is greens and blues and yellows. Okay, I like it.
The gold, if you tilt it, looks okay, but if you don't tilt it, you don't know it's there.
Yeah, well, especially on the camera. In person, when you pick it up and you move it, you see that nice.
But I didn't think I'd like this one. So I but I do like it. I think
better than you thought.
I
Well,
don't
that's
know
good.
why your one with the branches. I just don't like that.
Which, oh, this one over here?
The one with your branches on your first one?
Yeah.
I think that really threw me off.
It's out of control.
It just doesn't look nice.
It just looks like a paper full of dots. This one looks more like the tree.
Yeah, that one is really nice. That looks great. So I'm happy with this one.
Okay. So we're over time, but do you guys want to do these two, or do you want to just stop where we're at?
Well, my back's kind of giving out.
Stop.
Yeah, me too. It's been 2 hours. That's longer than we've been going for our 1 hour jump start.
And you've done them once I wanted to do the most.
But we did a lot though. We got good dot ones.
And I did 2 of almost everything.
A good swirl one.
Yeah,
We did a good stripe one. I really like this one a lot. And we did other stripe one.
That's my favorite.
This one looks like a pyramid. This one's your favorite?
Yeah.
That one looks like a pyramid to me. So I'm wondering if it needs a trunk.
Yeah, the one before that, the thin stripes. The real thin
The thin stripes. That's my favorite too.
That's the one that I had that paper tore on.
Ah, shoot. Can you go back over it where the tape tore the paper and put a little paint there or something?
No, it's too big.
Shoot. I'll have to do it again. Heat it. Yeah, heat it before you pick it up, or grab a different tape. Not all tape works equal. I don't use all my washi tape. Painter's tape would be good. What do you I think this needs a trunk. Because it just looks like a pyramid. What do you think?
I didn't put a trunk on mine like that.
I wasn't going to, but it just looks very pyramid-y to me.
I like mine better without a trunk.
Okay. And then we did.
I only thought 2 really needed a trunk. The gold one, I think, and the one we just did.
You think this one needs a trunk?
I think, well, I know I put a trunk on a second one somewhere. No, I didn't. It wasn't the gold one.
I don't think on that one.
The ribbon.
On the ribbon. The ribbon got one by virtue of the...
Yeah, the ribbon was the other one that did.
The ribbon got one, the ribbon tree. I would like to go back and put some gold, just like a little bit of gold dots on this one. I'm going to do that.
I put little gold crosses.
Oh, that works too.
because it needed something.
Yes.
But I like
agree.
I
This
like
one
how
needs a
it to
trunk.
do
This
it.
one doesn't need a trunk. That doesn't need a trunk. This one's got a trunk with
Yeah,
the
just the two.
gold.
The first, the
But,
ribbon one
yeah.
and the dot one.
And I don't think this one needs. I don't think this one needs a trunk. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, they were sure fun. Hope you try them, Sherry. Those of you who did or are going to, please post them in the group. Definitely love to see them. I don't know what today's prompt is. Glennis, do you know off the top of your head what today's prompt in the group is? Sylvia's prompt? That can I work it into this somehow? Yeah, I'm going to add me some gold onto this. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to let these sit up here so my splatters don't they need to dry. Some of my splatters still need to dry a little bit more. And my trunk needs to dry on this one. All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Was a wonderful day. Had a great time. Learned some new watercolor techniques. Thanks for all your help and your tips, because as I'm learning, I can't do it alone. I can't learn alone. So this is where I learn, is from you guys. Thanks, Glennis, for all of your ideas and tips in that. Oh, we lost Glennis, so I'll have to tell her later. Thanks,
Yeah.
Sarah, for being on with me. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
You guys have the rest of a great day, and don't forget to post your creations in the group. We definitely want to see them all, even the one that tore, Sarah. It's okay. And you can remake it if you like. So, all right, we'll see you guys real soon.
All right.
Take care. Have the rest of a great day.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, Sarah.